Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have some very interesting stuff to talk about. Obviously, we are going to talk about what happened yesterday with the Fed and Jerome Powell, why we saw some choppy price action in between. We are going to talk about the mega signal that I have posted yesterday in the video for the next parabolic crypto move up. We are going to talk about all the charts, but most importantly, we are going to talk about the truth of VEVE floor prices and the Ecomi token price. And we are going to listen to some stuff from David Yu from a couple of days ago and from a longer time ago. And we are even going to draw in some volume into the VEVE floor prices. So that's going to be all very, very interesting. If you like that, I can already say smash the like button, but we are only starting right after the video. Right after the intro. Sorry, boys. So, good morning, good morning, good morning, every one of you. I see there is already a lot of action going on in the chat, or there was. I don't know if that was before, but I see here a lot of discussion. Andrew Detox says, I get Bitcoin going up. Means OMI goes down, but still damn. Yep, absolutely right. Jordan says, I think I'm dealing with a sadomasochistic self-sabotaging team. I've been watching them be non-responsive with OMI since 2021. It looks like we might hit a nice low for the risk-taking buyers. Yeah. And Jordan continues, you would think VEVE would be getting some heat from their employees paid with some OMI. VEVE is gaining zero traction after 10 Marvel-sponsored Comic Cons. Nothing. How do you go from 2 million active wallets to 5,000 in 18 months? What happened to IMX? So there is a lot of good questions here, or a lot of good discussion points here. But that all was before we started the stream. So we will come back to that maybe a little bit later, but I think it's already very good that we see what's on your minds. And then we have Gaming Evolved here. Good morning. Who says, now I have to count zeros. He says he has 29 million OMI. And everyone here has apparently more than 20 something million OMI, despite Felipe, who is completely out of that range. But G Money is also here. Good morning, Patient Hodler. Good morning, G Money. Gaming Evolved. How are you doing? And good morning to Felipe. Okay, so as I said, we are going to talk, have some serious talks here today about the VEVE floor prices and the Ecomi price. But I also have to say already before, stick around, because actually what we saw now in the Ecomi price, we have predicted that on this channel, if you remember. Because when we drew the ABC correction and the extension of the correction, how deep it can go, we actually went a little bit beyond where the wick, the mega wick of today went. But we will see that all in a couple of seconds. Now let's jump right in first with our story. But make sure to smash up the like button once more. Please, please smash up the like button. Take that second out of your day. It doesn't cost you anything. 10 people here, so we want to see at least 10 likes already on the stream. That is the most important. Secondly, subscribe to the channel if you think that all is interesting. And third thing is, I want to thank all of you, my rare hodlers. Make sure that you enter in contact with me so that I can invite you into the rare hodler group, into my Telegram group, which is only for the people written here on that screen. Gflow asks, what other coins do you hold, PH? Very interested. Okay, so I can tell you my top holdings, which is Bitcoin. Almost half of the portfolio is Bitcoin. and the rest of the 50% is scattered up in Ecomi, Vechain, VEVE, Chainlink. I have some degen plays open with GFL now. I've bought a little bit of GFL. I have ADA, Polygon. I have a little bit of XTP. I have a little bit of Cardena. Yeah, but I think that's about it. I mean, I could make a portfolio video one day if you guys were interested. Let me know either in the comments or in the chat. But let's jump finally right in. Okay, so here we go. So first of all, Fed leaves the rate unchanged, and when that was clear and the talk of Jerome Powell wasn't so hawkish, actually the price of Bitcoin took off yesterday. Now they are talking the December decision, and at the moment the rate stays stable at 5.25 to 5.5 as expected. I have mentioned that in a video that I released yesterday. So maybe we can only go about the big points here. So basically Powell says household and small business balance sheets may be stronger than originally expected. This is hawkish because that implies he has technically the means to hike a little bit more without crashing the economy. Stocks rally as traders bet the end is in sight for rate hikes. So on the stock market, the traders are believing more in an end of a rate hike. Powell does expect the Fed to change the balance sheet roll-off. Okay, I've listened to the speech yesterday as well, and basically it was the same blah blah as the time before. Slower growth and a softer labor market are still likely needed to tame inflation. That is hawkish talk. What it basically means, they always say softer labor market. What that means is more people need to lose their jobs so that they know that they are on the right track. Another pause on rate hikes does not mean it will be difficult to raise again, says Paul. So they keep that last rate hike in play, or the potential last rate hike in play. The Fed is not thinking about rate cuts right now at all, says Jerome Powell. Okay, so that is basically it. They didn't hike, but they are still leaving it open that they are going to hike. And how did Bitcoin react? Well, Bitcoin react, and I have to refresh this probably. Yeah, Bitcoin reacted in breaking out of this pattern here. Right, so there we go. Let's see. Here we go. So yeah, Bitcoin reacted in this form. Bitcoin shot up to 35,975. So testing up to 36,000, which was actually more or less the measured move here for that pattern. But yeah, right now we are getting a little bit of a retracement. I mean, if you look at the RSI, that's absolutely clear. And yeah, we are looking for either more ranging or for a continuation of that pump, right? Overall, I mean, it's fairly clear now that we still have a big uptrend here, especially when you would draw lines here. But there's something else to talk about, and that is obviously how we are continuing on a macro scale, because if you are looking into a daily or 4 hourly, you can only see half of the picture. So that also is where MicroStrategy agrees, because MicroStrategy bought 155 more Bitcoins for 5.3 million, rounding up the number here. It's probably only for rounding up the number of Bitcoins that MicroStrategy holds to 158,400 Bitcoin, and I think they are closer to break even at the moment. And right now, the big question is, will they trade with it this time? Will they take profits, or will they just hold the stack of Bitcoin into the absolute bull run and then back down? That is the big question. But so far, MicroStrategy obviously will experience a rally on the stock market as well, because I mean, every time Bitcoin goes up, their valuation goes up, and it's very hard for stock investors to measure, except they are experienced in the crypto market, what the valuation of MicroStrategy will be. So basically, MicroStrategy has turned into a spot Bitcoin ETF, so to say, or not ETF, but into spot Bitcoin, how do you call this? A stock, yeah, that not necessarily with the same mechanic, but technically people are buying expecting prices go up, and then MicroStrategy buys more. I know that per definition that is absolutely wrong, but it's super funny to think in that way. Now, apparently, so before we had the pump, we could see that whales were loading up. So if you, and this is something where you could see that something is coming up or going on, is when you follow that whale alert here. So what we did see was several transactions close to the hundreds of millions into Binance, right, ready to buy. So if we go into this whale alert channel, just to show you why you should follow something like this, you see here, right? Now it's profit taking time apparently, and you can see it here. 1,250 Bitcoin, 50 million of Bitcoin transferred from unknown wallet to Binance. Okay, so and then also Ethereum, or 20,000 Ethereum transferred, and these are small whale alerts, so only the biggest things are triggering here. So we see here a lot of smaller transactions, and then this was right around or from before the pump, when here we have 76 million USDT, 77 million USDT, all transferred from unknown wallets to Binance, right? Here 75 million. So there are chunks of always around 75 million transferred from unknown wallet and so on. Yeah. So that is how we could a little bit monitor what whales are doing. So you should follow that, and I have ticked an alert here, and I'm not affiliated with this site. I just think it's super useful to know if something is going on. They also measure mega transactions on certain altcoins. So you see, for example, if something's going on with XRP. Now, let's look a little bit at the macro here before we go on again. This is from Plan B, and what it basically shows is the 4 stages of the bull market. Like the pre-bull is blue, the bull market is green, the complacency and in the beginning of bear market is yellow. Here you see yellow, the number 3 is the bear market, is there on the side, and then there is the liquidation phase, which is red, yeah, capitulation phase also. Okay, so, and this held true in almost every cycle. In the first one, it was very short, mega pump. It started with mega pump, capitulation, pre-bear, pump, right? And yeah, so it seems to be more and more accurate. But here we see, for example, that sometimes there is popping up a little bit of the yellow marker in between an ongoing and raging bull market. But overall, we see here, this is a perfect cycle without much disturbance. Pre-bear, capitulation, pre-bull, parabolic, and so on. And these repeat. And now we are in the middle of this pre-bull stage. And the pre-bull stage will continue for 5 more months. So we will see in this 5 more months, more likely than not, according to everything we saw, slightly upwards movement, like an uphill run before we go into the parabolic phase. So technically we can have still a bigger pullback in here and still form something that is going up. So, and on the macro, and this is always, if the micro looks weird, macro helps us tremendously, right? So I think this is a very valid to look at this once per month. And now that we got this monthly close and we are still rallying, we're in pump Vember now, this looks good. Now, I talked about this in a video yesterday because I couldn't hold it back. Where is it now? Here it is. There we go. So I have to get the chat a little bit to the side here. This here, and we can do that on the chart in a second, and because there's a little bit more to this, in my opinion, than only what we see here. But I want to give credit to Mustache here for pointing that out. So so we see the bottoms here of the Bitcoin chart, and we see the target of the previous high also, right? So when the previous high is retested, that's where the flags are. And right now, so this indicator here below is called the true strength indicator. Okay, and this true strength indicator is capable, like stochastic RSIs and MACDs, to form bear and bull crosses. And the yellow highlighted ones are the 3 bullish crosses that we ever had for Bitcoin. And so this indicator, I said it yesterday, is 100% correct until now, because it only flashed 2 times before. Now it's the 3rd time, and until now nothing has changed, except that we still have to rally up to 60-something thousand to be able to retest, basically, or not 60-something thousand, but yeah, close to 60,000 to be able to retest at this flag, right? But this indicator always says that if it flashes, if it forms a bullish cross, then we are going into a parabolic run from there. And right now, with this monthly close, this indicator has flashed this parabolic cross, or this cross that implies a parabolic run. So Mustache says it's actually the target for this uphill run. As you can see, it's not going back to all-time highs, is 48,000. That is very, very close to the target that we have also put out in our chart. So let's look at our chart here a little bit. So we have the target of 46,022.77 more or less, because of our previous pattern here. So this is how it looks without lines, but we will need the lines, and we are going to get rid of the RSI. Oh, by the way, I have said before, and this is something that we can integrate into our overall strategy maybe. So I've said our strategy says we should be start thinking about selling Bitcoin if we want to ever sell Bitcoin. Start thinking about selling when the RSI is in somewhere touching the 90, right? So that is one rule. Touching the 90 means we should be thinking about, not that we should sell everything, but thinking about starting to scale out, because we see here when we are starting to touch the 90, we are in the upper end of the run. That doesn't mean that this is already the right time to sell, right? That's not the only indicator that we base our beliefs on. But here's something interesting to add to our theory. So let's open the TSI, that's how you find it, this true strength indicator. Okay, there is it. We see it here down below. And if we now mark our bullish crosses that we saw before, here and here, and our new one, that's one thing, right? So we see we would technically, based on this true strength indicator, we would buy here, and we would buy here, and we would now buy here, where we are right now, or on a pullback, or I don't know. But so far we would have bought, if we just base it on such an indicator, we would buy 2,800% below, oops, and then we would buy, sorry for that, we would buy 464% below, and then we would buy, I don't know, yeah, that's still open. I don't know why TradingView does this, but that was not like this before. So there we go. So that is one side of the story. Now let's do the following. Change the color to red, because let's highlight the bearish crosses as well on this indicator. Here we go. We have two bearish crosses, and if we would say we sell on the bearish cross, we would have sold here, and we would have sold here. We would have sold here. That is pretty accurate. So now we could say, okay, we buy when the bull cross comes in, or when we see a closing on the bull cross, and we sell when we have when we're coming down to the bearish cross, because what we also see is that actually once we curve down, we can already basically take profit, right? And the bear cross forms at a pretty accurate time. So we could technically, if you only would trade this on the macro, you would be pretty fine based on what has happened in the previous bull runs, right? So I think that could be one of our significant factors for strategy. Yeah. Okay. So I think with a look at the time, let's jump right into Ecomi, because obviously Ecomi is the one that makes us trouble at the moment. So I've drawn in this line here because I think for a reversal we need to break this line. But if you remember, and I stick with this, I stick with the analysis that I put out before, and you can go and check back when we were still here. Now we have to turn it back to yellow. When we were still here in this range, I said, even here, I said that this is an ABC correction, and that this ABC correction can continue until the daily moving average here. Hey VEVE Wheels, what's going on? And Felipe, I've not overlooked your comment. We'll go back to it. It has to fit here, the topic. But here we go, right? So this is the ABC correction that is that I mentioned. So I said we could go, technically, we could go until, basically this line without going super bearish, and technically we could even go until the top of this box to not fall into the complete bear market range once again, right? So that could be happening. There's no problem with us retesting this and still having our macro bullish pattern in play. We should be at some point bouncing off of this moving average and come back and break this, retest, and then we go, right? That could be a picture, and then it would look like something like this, and then we would come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another correction, and then we go out, right? Something like this could be happening. Right now though, we need this, or we want to see that this holds. So for me, that is a point where I DCA. We said it could be coming back down. Excuse me, guys. My voice has a little bit of a need for coffee. But so far, ABC, right? That's my analysis, and could be looking like this in the worst case, ABC, which is the top of this line. But I don't think so. I think we stay above this. I think. And I will tell you when if and when I was wrong about this. But I think what's here very important is this yellow line. So basically, to make it a little bit more easy, we can take out this line, and then you see here this line from the left shoulder, basically, right? Let's extend this line. That would be our absolute wick down bottom for this shoulder. If we want to have this, I mean, it would still be in place even if this shoulder looks like this, right? Or like this, or like this. No, actually, the last one is not true. But yeah, this would be the ultimate point. That will not happen, in my opinion. But we want to see this still in play, and it is still in play. So A, B, C looks like this, right? That is still a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. So I think overall, Ecomi has taken a hit, and I think much has to do with whale games and not so much with Ecomi in general. But obviously, people want to see a little bit more, and they do not hear from the Ecomi team, which is not a good sign. Hey, Jordan, what is going on? Every time ready when we are talking about Ecomi, so that is good. How is your bag doing, Jordan? How does it feel if you drop like this on a? You had 100% pump and we retraced 34%. Oh yeah, that's something that I hate that TradingView did this. I only want to measure once. Okay, so that is something that I forgot to say. We, from the absolute bottom, not this bottom, not even this bottom, but from this range, from the base forming, let's take even this. We pumped 124%. Yeah, so it's like and this is only 2 months ago. this was a 125% pump. People say that Ecomi is dead. It's not, right? So we are retracing. Now let's pick the retracement. The absolute and deep retracement was a 40% retracement on a 100% pump. That is not out of the ordinary, right? So we have to keep it in perspective. Obviously, the narrative is not there yet. That Ecomi is going to be huge, big, I don't know what. They say they want to play it safe, but that's basically it. And that's what we are going to talk about today, right? We are also going to talk about what is going on with Ecomi. And it's good that Jordan is here. He says, I feel the Ecomi in my blood. It's fine because my other bags are mooning. Yeah, exactly. So that's also my case. My portfolio actually didn't change, even though so in value, even though the other bags the other bags are basically making up for the Ecomi bag. So it will feel really good when the next Ecomi rally is coming on. Sorry, I have to stretch. It's early. Hey Energy, what is going on? So it's good that you are here, Jordan. And guys, smash up the like button. We have 20 people in here. Guys, I want to see 20 likes here. If you like the analysis, if you like the hopium that we are spreading here. But anyways, I also want to talk about VEVE prices, and this is the main topic. And it's good that Jordan is here because look at that. This clip that I want to show right now is from the last stream of Jordan with David Yu. And oh, actually I'm on Danny's channel here because you guys all streamed it. So every one of these guys streamed it on their channels, but the hoster is Jordan Reese. So make sure to follow around the Ecomi verse and Jordan Reese's channel. If you put in the name here, you can find the channel. And yeah, destroy the like button for me, but hit also the subscribe button for him. And yeah, so let's go. Yeah, we are going to be famous probably very soon. But let's watch this clip together, and then we talk about. Now we are going to talk about VEVE floor prices. Okay, so let's go.
Unfortunate with the macroeconomic, there will be people hurting in maybe their job or other circumstances. They come and sell. It does bother me sometimes on some of the prices that people are willing to let go. I mean, they're selling things below what they pay for, and those are indication there's either they are overcommitted in some other things or they need to raise some fast cash to do something to pay bills and other things. But majority of the users out there, if you look at where the floor price is, if you in general, if you count the next 5 floor price edition goes, it does jump up to a new bracket of floor price, which is a lot higher. So
Okay, so let's stop that right there, right? So what David Yu basically is saying, that yeah, floor prices are lower, and there are a lot of people that basically what he wants to say, or what he I think meant, is that people are over leveraged, they need the cash somewhere else, so that is why they have to cash out, and that is why prices are going down. And actually, if you look at the floor prices, they are very thin. So if someone would buy those 3-4 editions that are on the floor, then the price would jump up. And we are going to show why this is actually not true. But we are going to go a little bit more here on that video.
Because of that, we are not really, well, I guess we are being alerted, but we're not panicking, shall we say. It's not like you have a vast majority, or 90% of that users are all dumping certain things because something else is happening.
Okay, so they are alarmed, or basically, maybe let's let him say one more word, because I think he says it himself.
But in the bear market, you always going to get that. Unfortunately, there will be a percentage of people who buy and flip these. And we try many times. We use the bot detections. We've done the KYC. We try to eliminate as much as we can in these users. And third.
Okay, so he's basically now referring also the lower prices to the bots, which there is a little bit more of the sequence, but I really want to go into the first one here, which is the floor prices. And I've prepared a little thing for you guys here so that we can talk about it. Actually, let me try to move this in the right spot. There we go. Okay, so I know this is not the optimal preparation, but you see here the prices, right? So I've taken 2 windows as an example of secret rare comics, because it's easier to monitor the floor here, right? So what David Yu is basically referring is very, very visible in this part here. This Uncanny X-Men 28 is a basic example for what he's saying. So there are 3 guys without profile pic that are trying to sell this comic for 95, 99, and 99. And then if you would buy these 3 editions, the price would jump to 210. So what David is saying is, if someone buys this, basically the floor price doubles, which is true, but it's not permanent, and that's where I'm getting at. Then you have 2 in the 200 range, and then the floor price doubles again from 250 to 500, and then you have 2 again, and then it triples to 1.4k. But the truth is, if you would take a crypto volume chart and you wouldn't have automatic delistings, right? Let's do this like this. It's a little bit rudimentary, but let me just bear with me here. It will make sense. You would basically have a lot of volume here, because we already saw this happen actually. So basically we can prove it. The moment that someone buys these 3 comics and the floor price jumps up to 210, you will have a lot of listings below here. We saw that. I saw that. I bought this comic for 100. It jumped up to 200, and then 10 listings went up, all undercutting each other until it slowly trickled down to where we are right now. And then all of those got delisted. And now we're sitting here with the last listings, right? So the automatic delisting is getting out volume from here. And then there is another volume. If we would have a seller exhaustion there, we would have another volume basically somewhere, in here. So this is how, if you would, in crypto, you have volume bands, because you can see all of the buy and sell orders stacking up at a certain point. You have these volume bands, right? So the same accounts for this part here. When prices go to 5,000, you would have a ton of volume, right? You would have like a mega volume here for Journey into Mystery 83. And that is a volume that is not being displayed. And the automatic delistings are causing that this is not visible for the user, how the floor really looks like, because people are too lazy to list their stuff because they know it won't sell anyways for 500. But for me, that would be a 5x on my money, and maybe I want to list it here, but I'm not willing to do it the entire year. So basically, that is how it looks. So it's not true that the price, it's true the price doubles, but it's not true that then stuff sells for that price. That is where David Yu is absolutely wrong, in my opinion. And the problem is more serious than he is designing it at the moment. So then let's listen a little bit more of this, because there's one other point that he's making, why prices are low. And then we have to discuss a little bit more of the reasons.
Furthermore was some of these early accounts that's been restricted, some of them have come back online, and some of these users might be just exiting the app, so they're actually just cleaning out the early on collections.
Okay, so what? He said that many of those are bot accounts and that users might be exiting the app. I don't understand, because to my knowledge, bot accounts are all banned, or their stuff has been taken from them, or bot accounts have to KYC and they can't because, right? So how are bot accounts coming back online and selling off their stuff? How is that possible? So either the information was false before, or it was false after. Now be that as it may, right? I don't like this, because it's basically either he doesn't know what's going on, or they have changed their bot policy and freed up those accounts, which what he says would be that. Then I want to have also my cousin, who was banned without botting, unbanned, so that he can take profit on his stuff or sell his stuff, right? So what is going on? Anyways, so I think that is one problem. So the other problem is that he is not addressing here at all, is that they are saturating always the market with the edition sizes. So barely any drops are designed so that the edition sizes are so low that there's a lot of gems left over that can spill into the secondary market, right? So they always drain all of the gems. That is a big problem, because that means that if people are willing to buy 7,000 comics, they put out 7,000 comics. David Yu once said in a podcast, they want to show the licensors that they are not leaving any money on the table. But in fact, they do, because they are not, by maxing out on the primary market gems where they get 100%, they're losing out on a secondary market that is trading on higher percentages where they could get higher fees. So, and create user excitement. So what they do is they drain basically so much of the gems that users are not willing to go for drops anymore, because they know that they can get it cheaper on the secondary market afterwards from the people that are buying the drop and then don't get the mint that they want and sell it out. So that is one problem. Now, if that holds all true, that they are draining the market and they are aware of draining the market in 100%, I mean, that mechanic is clear as it can get, right? Gems in, gems out on primary. If you drain all gems on primary, there's no gems left over to spend on the secondary, which makes prices go so low that people don't want to have the primary anymore, which forces them to lower the edition sizes to get excitement back, which then causes the same going on over and over again. So the solution to this is to have some very high profile drops with very low editions that they can drop, so that there's gems left over in the market, so that the secondary market gets turned on by new gems flowing into the app. And honestly, they have to do something else. They have to in the same time that this happens, they have to put cash out on maintenance, so that really the effect gets multiplied, right? Yeah. So let's listen to one other clip that Chevy Torres posted here, which is also from David Yu. And I'll get my face out of the way for this, and you guys a little bit to the other side, because this is what David Yu said about editions before, or about the prices.
Every single one.
1 second.
Every single one of these items that you are seeing in VEVE is the first appearance of them in digital. It's almost like buying a comic book in the 1930s, 50s, 60s, the first appearance of this superhero, this character. This is the going down in the history. Regardless, is the first appearance of these characters existent. And the value of that is going to be huge. And then every single one of these items that you are seeing in VEVE.
Okay, so that is basically the value promise here from David Yu. And by the way, good morning, J-Kill and Crazy Dan. Welcome to the channel. Guys, we have 30 people here. Smash up the like button. I know you are excited and disappointed at the same time in Ecomi and VEVE. So David Yu is saying every single item that we have on the app, almost every item in the app is a first edition, and that it's going to go up in value because it's basically the first one. It's like buying a comic in 1938. And then you have to wait 70 years, which exceeds your lifetime. But I hope that's not the case for VEVE, right? So if you had bought MC1, you wouldn't be able to take profit today because you would have died already. But I hope that's not the timeline that they see with VEVE. So he says that, and then on the other hand, he basically made it clear that he doesn't want prices to go 2x, 3x, 4x and have people make money from VEVE, because that is not what VEVE is about. So you can't, and this is a direct message because and David, you are invited to come to my channel. Let's discuss about Ecomi and VEVE together. Really, I would love it. You can't have it both ways. It's either that these comics and everything appreciates in value because liquidity concentrates on it, or you don't want to be VEVE about that stuff, then that's also fine, but that needs to be communicated from the beginning, right? I mean, the dilution of these things basically would have then needed to be communicated. On the other hand, we have to say that that specific comic, digital comic, in itself does not get diluted. The problem is that this comic in itself is in a walled garden where prices can be diluted. And I think there is, back to the floor prices, if you consider this, there would be way more, when there were no automatic delistings, there were way more of the secret rare comics listed. So you could also have a little bit more of an overview of what more transparency was there, basically, who wanted to sell his comic for what prices. Because we have to make one point in favor of the prices, and that's one point in favor of the prices is that we also cannot see the potential upside, because also that is delisted, right? So we see only the people that realistically want to sell their comic, besides 66K here from Mr. Squibs. But we see also people that want to sell their comic for 10K, they also don't have it listed. So a little bit of transparency, or a lot of transparency, is gone by this, right? Ain't1 Kenobi says, thanks for the highlight. Thanks for highlighting that. Meanwhile, he offers 40K for something bought for 150. Yeah, exactly. So that is very interesting as well, because he himself is willing to offer that outside of VEVE, or maybe inside of VEVE, if you would. So yeah, but he puts a price tag on, and yeah, very very valid comic. I'm just, the reason that I'm stuttering at the moment is because I'm trying to think what that also implies, what you're saying, because you have a very valid point there, and thank you for bringing that up. He has offered $40,000 bounty for a #1 secret rare Funko collectible that cost 150 on the primary market. Very very true. Very true. That is so good. I think I will need to put out another video about this whole thing and bring all those ends together. That is very, very true. Yeah. So what is it right now? Do you want to have a market where the prices are high and you have heavy headlines? Or do you want to have prices are low and affordable? Do you want to have mass editions? Do you, right? That is very, very true. Yeah, I didn't think about that yet. Okay, so I'm very good. So yeah, that is something that I think we need. I will try to find a little bit more of those snippets, and then I will put out a video about this. But it probably will take me the weekend to do that. I should find another nature scenario there to put that out. Lastly, the VEVE Tracker is back online, guys, and we can monitor more whale activity. So yeah, what do we have? Actually, look at this. There is something going on, but don't get too excited, because there is a wallet that has bought exactly or received exactly 10,000 collectibles, but that seems to be a VEVE internal wallet. And the theory is that this is a crafting wallet, basically. So where collectibles are sent to that are burned in a crafting event. So for example, if we craft the desks from the pencils, then this could be the wallet where this is going to, right? So yeah, on the other hand, also what is going on right now is that we have number 567 minting as crazy. We see that the net inflow is still high on Vechain. Vechain has reached over 33,000 collectibles, so this whale is still stacking it up. And yeah, we see that the rest of the whales is actually has slowed down more in buying. We see that there's also some flippers still active and so on, but overall there is no massive purchases at the moment besides the 800, and everything looks very flat right now because of these 9,991 net. I don't know why there are 9 sales, honestly. Maybe this is an outflow of the wallet, but I think that wallet is, if I recall it right, is a wallet that is related to VEVE and that gets burned collectibles. So soul stones were going into that wallet and so on. So that is very, very interesting. And Vechain obviously still purchasing, but we would need more of the whales, and more whales you can attract them when you see that the prices are fluctuating a little bit more, going up a little bit more. So honestly, I think VEVE should overthink the way that they are treating the secondary market at the moment. But we see here Killian Martin Navarro says they are spending money on ads to get new users. But if they do, all they can get everything above retail in the market. We'll get other users to join because of the great opportunities to profit. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, and I think we shouldn't criticize the effort of making some online marketing there, because that was actually what everyone demanded, and now it's becoming true. Now they are doing that, and yes, if we are getting new users, then that's absolutely fine. Let's check on the user growth maybe. Immuta scan. I think that's the Vechain wallet, but let me check this wallet quickly. No, that's not the. Oh, that's the. Yeah, that's the Vechain wallet, I think. But let's go to Immuta scan here, and to VEVE. So if you want to check user growth, you can do it here on VEVE. Therefore, we have to switch the sides here a little bit. So here we see it. So actually, we are ranging once again after we had the massive spike here. We are ranging at, and now we're at around 654,079. But what's really important is only the user growth, and what we have been seeing along the Halloween drops is that we are spiking back and forth. So actually no new permanent users, right? So we have been here at 31, and here we are at 79. So that's a net, what is that? A net 48. A net 48 wallets. Not too shabby, but also over the course of 2 weeks. Yeah, 38 new wallets that still have collectibles. We have spikes here, but we cannot really count them. We can only take the actual level, because that means that from here we have actually lost about 72 wallets that have sold off the last collectible. We also saw VEVE Vault liquidating everything, so he has shown that he has no collectibles left over. So VEVE Vault is actually completely out of VEVE. Yeah. So yeah, you see here the user growth is we came up here from this range where we basically did not get much new users. We actually gained around 300 users. So 300 new wallets that or 300 wallets that hold at least one collectible, and that's more or less, yeah, that's a little bit less. That's 20 days, right? So, and that was the X-Men #1 comic and Comic Con. So actually that drop brought us a lot of users. So we see Iconic drop brings in new users combined with an event. JKRB says, yes, the best ad will be having collectibles above retail. 100%, because that will also help them sell out more drops. So they have to cut back on editions massively to get back up in editions afterwards, right? So they need to be below demand to make people take profits, but then they have to basically give up some profits, and they probably don't want that to prove to the licenses in the bear market that they are still making profits. So it is a little bit of a difficult point here where they spot that they are in, and they have brought themselves into that by themselves, because that was something that we have been addressing and talking about since more than a year, and yeah, they didn't do anything about it. So additions were way too high. I think we addressed it already at the Black Panther drop back, and I said 60,000 editions at 60 gems sold out. That was massive profit, but it was way too high. Crazy Dan says, are you losing your patience? No, not really, because I think in the long term, I think it will be fine. It's just that we could be better, because I think in a bull market environment with re-emergence of a new wave of NFTs and so on, it will be all fine. I think just we could be doing better throughout the bear market if VEVE would act accordingly. Plus, I don't really like the way that they are not talking about the Ecomi token, right? So for example, I think it's time to pull up the narrative, and it's more of a rational perspective, because I said that before in some comments on YouTube. I want to see something until the halving, because if there's nothing until the halving for the Ecomi token, despite that little bit loose effort integration that we have right now, then I would be worried about the bull run, about Ecomi missing the bull run, and then I would cut back, I would mitigate risk, I would take out money from Ecomi to put it in other coins that would perform better, but only if I don't see anything after the halving, right? Because then, I mean, come on, by the halving there should be something, right? The recent Ghost Rider 1500 edition is a good example. Wasn't it 1200 total even? Is it above retail? Let me see. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I thought that the editions were kind of okay. I would have put them on the 1000 only, because there are some good examples for secret rares that are in that range and that are doing pretty well still in the bear market. I don't know. No, my VEVE app was not loading, but here we go. Let me see. Ghost Rider. Yeah, it's on 55 and it cost 50 on drop. So yeah, it's above retail. That is good. Trucking Hank says, "Are you going to France? If so, we want to report back on what they talked about. Hopefully, lots of talk about Homie." So yeah, and that is actually something where also David. I think David said it in the live stream. Not quite sure. But David said that it's actually probably not going too much about Ecomi, which makes me not want to go there, because I want to go to an event about Ecomi, right? And I thought that they are, but they were like, I think it was, I don't know if it was Dan or David, but one of them said basically that it's not going to be too much about Ecomi, that they're probably talking more about VEVE and the NFT side and everything about collectibles, which could be interesting, but I will have to see. I want to go there just to meet the people from Europe and subscribers of this channel, but that's about it. Let's put the Ecomi here in the background. The reason, I agree with you, PH. You make good points. I mean, we have to be rational, right? In the end, it's our money. We are, in contrast to what many people say, we don't want to be a cult. We want to be what's rational. And honestly, if I want to be an investor in there and they don't want me as an investor in the app or in the token, okay, fine. That would be fine, right? But I think there is a legitimate interest in people having their backs going up. Also, Reese, he still has a lot of OMI, so he probably wants to see OMI to go up, and I think we can capitalize on that. But I would have bought way more OMI already if we wouldn't be flip-flopping so much in the, hey, OMI's bullish, OMI's bearish, OMI's bullish, OMI's bearish, right, in that territory. Yeah, he said they will talk about both. Yeah, hopefully they will talk about, okay, so then I should go. I think I will be going. I have to figure out, maybe someone can send me the site from the subscribers here, the website for the tickets. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. And I unfortunately have to leave you here right now. I have to get in the hamster wheel, do something to buy more OMI. And but I thank you all for joining today. Make sure to smash up the like button right now when you are leaving here, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Tick the little bell to always get notified. I hope you liked the insights and the analysis. Thank you, Anand, for the good idea here with the 40Ks. bounty. And thank you all, especially my rare hodlers, G-Money, Felipe, Anand, and someone else was here. Jordan was also here. And who else of my rare hodlers was here? Yeah, I think that was about it, right? But also to the other rare hodlers of the other side of the world that cannot make it, hope you enjoyed this as a video. And yeah, wherever you, what was saying, JKRB said, I'm definitely buying more OMI at this price. Okay, let's do it. So guys, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And I see you in the next Crypto Morning Coffee tomorrow, probably either a little bit earlier, or I don't know if I will even make it because of work once again, but we will see. So yeah, guys, enjoy your coffees. Have a good one. Bye.